My name's Trevor.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Bowie, and we're heaving.
Yo, what up, guys? It's Ethan G back here with another interview. Today is February 22nd, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Heaving. How you guys doing today?
Doing
Good.
great. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, happy to have you guys here. I know you guys are coming from Peoria, a little bit of a drive, 40 minutes, but everyone's real excited to hear you guys tonight.
Yeah.
We're excited to be
excited to
here.
play.
Yeah. So, just to start things off a little bit for people who might not know, how long have you guys been playing together, and what's the story, how you guys came together?
It's like 2 years now.
Just over, yeah.
Yeah, just over 2 years. We all work together.
Okay.
And basically, Tyler approached me about wanting to do like a heavier band, and at the time, I was also kind of like writing a couple of heavier things, and like I showed him a couple of my songs, and we ended up just digging it. And Bowie also worked with us, and we're like, "Do you want to play bass?" And we had Trevor, who is related to Tyler, and it just kind of worked out. And within like 2 weeks, we're already practicing and getting ready for a set. And I think we played a show within like
A month.
a month. Yeah.
1 month.
Yeah. So it was great. It was super easy, and it just clicked ever since.
Awesome. Yeah, so like I mentioned, you guys are from Peoria, and I know Peoria kind of has its own kind of scene, especially more on the hardcore side of things, it always seems. What can you tell me about that scene, and what's it like playing over there?
We, like, in all honesty, aren't really a part of the hardcore scene.
Okay.
Not that, like, we have anything against it, but we've just, like, made friends. Like, we're friends with, like, the Mount Moon scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he played in, like, High Meadows, which is, like, another, like, kind of indie blues band.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just, like, friends with all of the, like, emo indie bands that are playing. So, like, typically we're the band that doesn't fit in.
Got you.
But it always works out, so we're chill with it. And but yeah, the hardcore scene is like huge. There was a venue that unfortunately doesn't exist anymore called Slice Hub, where it's like a little pizza shop where they had like over 150 people at every show. It was insane, but yeah, it's still kicking.
Diving off the counters.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. But yeah, and that basically just bleeds with Springfield too. So the whole Central Illinois like scene with hardcore is really strong and very big.
For sure. Yeah, I think the first time I saw you guys was at Meltdown Creative, and I want to say you guys played with The Sheltered, or I think there were No Shelter at that point still.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of one of those examples where I guess maybe you would say, like, feel like you don't fit in as much, like not on the heavier side, but personally I kind of think it's perfect for it, because you guys still, even though you're not like super heavy or super hardcore or anything, you guys do have those breakdowns and just that headbangingness to it. That's the best way I can say it. Like I loved you guys after the first time I saw it. I was like, oh,
Thank you.
They're fire.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made good homies with them. We played like 2 shows that weekend, and yeah, we're good friends with those guys now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's awesome. So yeah, I think right around maybe a little bit after I first saw you guys were gearing up to start releasing your EP, Just Take Everything. And I know you guys had done some singles leading up to that, but Zipper and Do Something. I loved both of those, because I think I want to say Zipper was out already by that time, and I remember I heard it live. I'm like, oh my god, that shit went so hard. And then I went on Spotify. I'm sure enough it was there. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to hear. What can you tell me about the recording process for that album? Kind of like what all went into it.
Well, Morgan had already written some songs when we were kind of talking about starting a project, and a few of those ended up on there. And so the writing process for like each song was really different, but some of those were more fleshed out, and we all kind of like added our own things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Zipper was one of the first songs that we all wrote together, and then that ended up coming out before the EP. But with the EP, we had kind of a mix of how they were all written, and then when it came time to record them, we did all the recording in my bedroom, and so that was really fun. But there was also some frustrations, just like re-recording stuff, and also there's a certain pressure when like you're recording it yourself, and then you kind of have no excuse to like, you're not like restrained by studio time or anything. So I know for me, like I was recording the drums, and then I'd hear one little thing, and I was like, okay, I got to retrack it. And I
Yeah.
would just, like, retrack. But that's also nice that I can just, like, try again
You got
on
the
any of
freedom for
songs
that.
whenever. Yeah. And then it was mixed by Tate Mercer in
Okay.
Nashville and mastered by Adam Kachaki in New Jersey. So
Cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, you got people from all over the place working
Yeah.
on it. No, that's really one of the things I noticed when I first heard you guys was how good everything sounded. And if you're saying you recorded some of that, like a lot of that stuff in your bedroom and stuff, I think that's
Yeah.
super impressive because, yeah, like I said, one of the things I really thought was like, this is some of the most professional, like DIY or local music that I've heard. And not even just on the music side of it, but really your rollout too. I kind of wanted to put a highlight on that. That was just another thing I noticed. Your guys' rollout seemed so professional. Like you guys had for one thing, your guys' cover art all hit. But on top of that, I saw you guys did like visualizers for certain songs and stuff.
Yeah, we did like a couple of like video teasers. And Tyler was like the main mastermind behind like it coming out, and then we would all kind of collaborate ideas on what we thought would be cool. And really, the videos were us just kind of having fun and trying to see what would be not corny, but fun and easy for us to do. Because I mean, we're pretty limited on resources and funds and stuff like that. So all that stuff was just shot on an iPhone and us editing and like messing around in our practice space. But yeah, probably with previous experience with other bands we've been in, we just have like a good understanding of like how to try to market things, at least just to keep interest going. And Tyler like masterfully put it all together. So yeah, it was really, really good. We're stoked about it just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
is.
No, you should. Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's cause like I said, it looks great, and I feel like a lot of bands on the local side might not put as much thought into like a prolonged rollout like that. What's some advice that you would give to a band who wants to do something like that, or do a better rollout, I guess, for their music?
Like we're still learning that ourselves. a
Yeah.
little bit.
I mean, it's trial and error, and it's also like, I think there probably is. I mean, I don't want to like point fingers or anything, but there probably has been a little bit of judgment towards us as like being a DIY band trying to do these things that are a little bit bigger than what a DIY band would typically do.
Okay.
But it's not because like we think we're better or anything. It's just like we wanted to experiment, and like we're also like trying to do this like for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just like, it was helpful that when we started the band, we had like an idea of like what we wanted it thematically and like the aesthetic to be. So like we just kind of ran with it, and like don't be afraid to experiment. It's the biggest thing. Like, yeah, I mean, it just helps that we all kind of like agreed on like a style and a tone for what we wanted. But I'm sure that a lot of people, out of fear of like judgment or anything, probably wouldn't move forward with like trying to execute on any of it. But we just ran with it, and so far it's worked.
Yeah.
It's been a ton of fun.
Like when we started, we didn't even have any songs released before our first show, but we were like plugging the Instagram like pretty hard. Like we were posting stuff, posting teasers. We were all sharing it on our personals, and then thankfully over 200 people came to the first show, and it was awesome. So I guess that's a big part of the advice is, even though, yeah, like you said, we get criticized for trying so hard on the social media stuff and that, but like that's how it goes. That's how you bring people, and that's how you
That's the
draw
world we're in.
attention. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also just like trying to, I don't know, I myself can say like trying to create an experience beyond just the music. That's like part of it too. And like when you do the like deep dives on like all the different like promotional things that we do, whether it be like how we present ourselves on stage or the social medias, like it's a lot of effort goes into it to try to give it like a deeper experience for all the people that are like trying to take it in. So yeah,
Cool.
if that makes sense.
No, definitely. Just experimenting really is the biggest thing. Even with the stuff I'm doing here, like I'm always experimenting with new little ideas, and you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So as long as you're just trying some new stuff, eventually you're gonna find those things that stick, and you can start rolling with that, and it can snowball into a bigger thing. So,
sure.
Kind of going away from more intricate stuff like that. What would you guys say some of your influences are for your sound? Like I know you said like emo like earlier, but any specific bands or anything?
For me, a lot of it was like Deftones and Hum.
Okay.
Hum is from Champaign, and they're really sick.
Mhm.
And I know when Morgan and I were talking about starting stuff, we were talking about like going like a super heaven route, which is more just like big sounding like rock that's not as like metally or like heavy, you know. But it
No, I know
quickly-
super heaven.
like
yeah.
we quickly just like played a breakdown at practice, and we're like, okay, this is way more fun for
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah, I like started playing music in the metalcore scene in like 2012, 2013, so I still have that a little bit in me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like we definitely were like inspired by like the shoegaze like revival that's going on right now, but then just adding an element of like heavier metal, and like we get new inspirations all the time where we listen to like heavier like genty bands, and we listen to like funky bands and stuff too. I mean, there's no limit to like what inspires us for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Again, kind of adjusting gears. So a little bit more recently, I know about like what 2-3 months ago, you guys did some stumbling block sessions. Those came out really great. Tell me about that experience. What was that like?
We recorded those pretty far. It was actually
It was a long
not
time
too
ago now.
long after our EP release.
Okay.
And yeah, they absolutely killed it. I kind of have not anything against anybody who helped us doing it. I was sick while we were doing that, so it's like hard for me to look back on and like listen to my voice. But the like professionalism that was in everything with the video, and like the fact that we were in a living room just like this, it was awesome. And they're fun. They're fun to show people. It was a super good
It
time.
went so smoothly too. It was like pretty fast. We
Yeah.
got it done like didn't feel very long.
a couple hours.
Yeah.
And it was like just as much hanging out with like everybody who was a part of it, as well as just doing the actual
Yeah.
shoot. So yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I've definitely gone through and just watched all those a few times. It's always fun just to put on the stumbling block videos and just let those go. Most definitely. I only got one more question for you guys. You guys have did a lot in 2024 with the EP, and then yeah, you just had the stumbling block stuff come out. What got anything coming up for 2025 soon, or anything you're planning on doing?
I don't know what we really want to talk about yet.
For sure.
but We have some songs we've been working on. There's a fair amount, and so we're constantly just like working on those. And then we have a lot of shows on the books, but we also are kind of trying to find spots in there to take some breaks from shows just so we can focus on the music. Because every time we end up doing a show, it's like that whole week we got to like dedicate to
for the show,
practice
yeah.
For sure,
and
yeah.
rehearsal and stuff.
Gotta
So
prep.
yeah, it's nice to have some weeks where we don't have a show and where we don't have anything going on, so then we can all just work on that. But I like the way our previous stuff sounded, but when I listen to it now, I'm like, man, we can do so much better. And the next stuff is going to sound way cooler, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So the simple answer is yes. Yeah.
Definitely some stuff
when,
coming.
But yeah, we're super excited for it. Yeah.
Cool. No, I'm super excited. I'm really excited to see you guys play tonight. Don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but we are at the Tally right now. Shout out to the Tally for letting us do the interview here. Huge crowd out there already, and the night is just starting. First band, Cat Tag's going on, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be
warming it up out there.
Yeah, gonna be a fun one. But yeah, no, thank you guys again for sitting down doing this interview with me.
Thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah, thank
you.
It was
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Follow Heaving on Instagram. I'm gonna put that right below on the bottom of the screen. Until next time, make sure you check out Heaving stuff on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of stuff. They rock. Yeah. Take care. See you guys next time.
thanks.
A few hours later.